Hi everybody, welcome back to a brand new video that is Marvel Contest of Champions related. Yes, we are here in the battle realm and there's the battle world right here. That's where everything happens in Marvel Contest of Champions, where we fight to the bitter end. But this video isn't focused on what's going on with different types of realms, worlds or whatever, but it does have some bearing on this particular character here. So if you're not familiar, this is the character of Empathy, and we're going to be discussing why this character is going to mean so much to us as this goes on through Act 6 and also with a lot of content. For those that have completed the Nameless Thanos fight, you'll know that you're going to a cutscene. This particular cutscene talks about one particular character and referring to the contest in a certain way of disapproval of the way that characters function, and the fact is this is a big build-up for this character. That's the reason for this video. We're going to deep dive a little bit more into Entropy and also the potential storylines we could see in the future and how extreme this could be as a potential boss, and is this going to be the way that Kabam are going to focus in the future their future storylines. In order to understand Entropy, we also have to consider Eternity. Yeah, you're going to have to bear with me. There's a lot of E's, there's a lot of technical BS that has just really got to be explained with this, but it should be fairly obvious. Eternity, as the embodiment of Earth 616, was born as an offspring of the larger multiversal Eternity in the 7th incarnation of the multiverse. At one point, Eternity spawned several children or concepts that became separate independent entities. These include Empathy, Eulogy, Expediency, Entropy, Epiphany, Enmity, and Eon, although the last was eventually killed and replaced in turn by the concept Epoch. And for those really wanting to know the meaning, in a nutshell, lack of order or predictability, gradual decline into disorder. Or you could use a physics term of it, but I think the second is the better one to go with. So yeah, there's a lot of E's, and we have established this is the son of Eternity, but also he's got a bit of a famous uncle. That's indeed correct. Entropy's uncle is Galactus, and it's kind of a weird kind of family vibe to it, seeing that your brother's Galactus if you're Eternity and you've got a son called Entropy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's all very specific to stuff that's going to happen with the storyline and plot. How that plot really factors into the further increasing of this particular map, I'm sure that we've added some stuff over the last several months of 2019, but when it comes into the future and how this ends Act 6, this will be very interesting from my perspective to know. I'd like to understand how the story is going. Let's look at the chain of command here. So we've had Maestro, which is probably about here. Then we're going to have Karina, which is either going to factor into kind of just below Maestro. But now are we reaching a point where we're talking about Celestials and Celestial based powers? In particular, thinking that we're going right. So we've got Entropy, which is a bit above Maestro, and then above that would be Eternity, and then above that, Living Tribunal. That's the kind of scale that we're working at here. And will that be the next step of where we go with villains in Marvel Contest of Champions? As it's seen by the cutscenes from the recent event, it does very much point in a way that Entropy wants to keep a handle on chaos. And there has been links and stories in the past with this particular character and Genis Vale in order to reboot the universe, and in particular the need to have organization to chaos, and that's obviously what we've just learnt from the character of Entropy. We all know that Kabam created a Skrull character but didn't utilize it for the recent Nick Fury Captain Marvel crossover movie type event. So is this something that is going to be used in the future, mainly for some sort of Skrull-like invasion? Or is this a case that this was just a ruse and created just to maybe think that we were going to go down some sort of route with the contest? I don't know, especially with the idea of having Entropy and also the prospect of Genis Vale and the whole kind of link with Captain Marvel and Marvel. This could be something that could be reignited as a flame, as a storyline in the future. It's not totally understanding the situation. Marvel is the father of Genis Vale, and there's a lot more kind of stuff to explain with that. But if this is a link with Entropy in the future, then this could be a good storyline. But to have Genis Vale actually in the contest, it would need to go down a very negative route for the storyline. as you can never really tell half the time if Genevieve is on the side of good or the side of evil, and especially with the storyline that we've got here in the image, it's not something that I think I'd like to see in the game. Also, from the perspective of what powers we could see from a character that is on a celestial level or son of a celestial level, the fact is we could see lots of time, space manipulation, we could have the creation of universe type things, creation of big bangs, so many different things, and I don't know if that just pushes it too much to a point of it being a little bit too much for the contest, especially considering the fact that they've taken a character like Dormammu and kind of scaled it down, where Dormammu should be a lot more powerful than he is. The same thing could be said with the extent of abilities that Mr. Sinister could have or has in the game, and also maybe a character like Apocalypse, who I'd love to see in game, but I feel that they'd have to scale him down quite significantly. So I don't know where Caban plan to kind of go with this, but let's hope that this is more decent boss rather than a stupidly ridiculous boss to go up against. In any case, this has been a little deep dive into Entropy, the character that we should be seeing fairly soon in some sort of capacity. Whether or not this is something to do with Act 6 teasing or a future event, it'd be very exciting to see. And what are your thoughts on this? Whether or not you feel this is good for the story mode, whether you think it's for Act 6, a separate event, the future of MCOC. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments section below. And finally, I end by saying thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. Don't forget to drop into a live stream most days from 1900 hours GMT. Support the channel by hitting up the join button and becoming a member, and also make sure to join the Discord. Links are in the description below. I've been RichTheMan. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.